So let everyone join. If you're joining us live, welcome. If you're watching the recording, welcome as well. We're also live on our Facebook group. So if you're joining us from there, feel free to drop your questions in the comment section. I'll make sure to keep an eye on that in case I can relay anything to today's speaker. I'll go ahead and give a brief introduction. So here at Montessori Thrive and Nido Marketing, we host these Montessori town halls every week as a space for Montessori school leaders to come together and discuss important leadership topics. Often we have some speakers who come to share different things about school leadership or share information on tools that can help make your community stronger or benefit the families within your community and students as well. Today, we're joined by Cara Zelas, who is an early childhood educator, social and emotional learning expert, and a curriculum creator who received her Bachelor of Elementary Education degree from Sydney, as well as an early childhood Montessori certification. She's in the process of completing her master's, and she's here to share with us a little bit about SEL, so social emotional learning, and how it can really benefit your school climate in the Montessori space and how you can communicate this to families. I'm going to go ahead and hand it over now to our speaker, Cara, who has a presentation to put together and is also here to answer any questions.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for the benefits of social and emotional learning on school climate and the classroom environment. I'm Cara Zelas. I'm an educator, social and emotional learning expert, early childhood Montessori teacher, and founder of Big World of Little Dude, which is an educational platform teaching young children 3 to 7 social and emotional skills, such as kindness, manners, empathy, respect, and many other foundational competencies. And we deliver our messages through a book series, curriculum, and a literacy-based program called the Humankind Curriculum and Toys. And this is Little Dude. And Little Dude is a therapy dog, and we volunteer with the Good Dog Foundation. And I'd like to begin today's presentation by sharing a story from our volunteering experience with the Good Dog Foundation. So Little Dude and I were at the New York Presbyterian Hospital in Manhattan. On our way to the pediatrics ICU, a literal sliding doors moment happened. As we were standing in the elevator, the doors were about to close when a lady quickly held the door and jumped in. She immediately asked if Little Dude was a therapy dog and proceeded to tell me about her relative who was dying and the conversation their family just had about his love of dogs and how sad it was that he was never going to see a dog again. And she asked if Little Dude could please come and visit with him. And so, of course, I said yes. So as I entered this man's hospital room, I saw him laying on the bed. He was really still and sallow. And I placed Little Dude on his bed, and one of his family members took the back of his hand and placed it on the dying man and put it on Little Dude's back. And immediately his eyes opened. And all the family standing around him were saying how amazing it was that he got to pat a dog and what a blessing this moment was. And it was experiences like this that made me realize how a small act of kindness can have a big impact. And it was this experience that inspired me to teach the children in my classroom about kindness. So I started to bring Little Dude into the Montessori early childhood classroom I was teaching in to share my experience of being a dog therapy team and to teach the children about kindness. And this really got me thinking. We teach ABCs and we teach 1, 2, 3s. Why don't we explicitly teach about kindness? And this led me down the path of exploring and researching the impact of social and emotional learning. And so it was this combination of Little Dude's kindness and wanting to make a difference in the classroom. And it's really what inspired me to write a book series and curriculum. And so the idea of being kind to others is really the essence behind Big World of Little Dude. And our mission is to help teachers and parents raise emotionally healthy and resilient little humans. So the objectives for today's presentation are to explore the alignment of SEL principles with the Montessori philosophy, to gain practical strategies for integrating SEL practices into the classroom, to empower educators, to engage families, and also about implementing reflection and assessment tools. And also to discover the effective practice of dog therapy in the classroom to promote well-being and engagement. And really discovering that there's such a harmonious blend between Montessori education and social and emotional learning to really nurture emotionally healthy children. So, challenges. There are so many challenges that you face as school administrators. You may frequently find yourself confronted with incredibly demanding workloads, high stress levels attributed to the multifaceted array of responsibilities that you have on your shoulders. So you may navigate intricate administrative tasks, maintain a safe, conducive learning environment, handle budgetary concerns, liaise with parents, guide teachers, and ensure that you have compliance with educational regulations, and also many, many more duties. So the weight of this responsibility can undoubtedly become really overwhelming and be stressful. And concurrently, teachers face their own set of challenges within the classroom. They're tasked with the critical duty of educating and nurturing the intellectual and emotional growth of students. And this entails not only delivering effective lesson, but also addressing the diverse learning needs of all the students in their classroom. And that brings me to classroom management. So that can be particularly demanding, especially for new teachers, because, these teachers have to strike a balance of maintaining order, but also fostering a positive and engaging atmosphere. So the workload extends far beyond the classroom with lesson planning, grading, meetings. And so this cumulative effect of these challenges can leave these teachers feeling really overwhelmed and stretched thin. So in essence, both teachers and school administrators who play such a pivotal role in the education system, but they contend with all these unique sets of challenges and pressures. So it's about recognizing and then addressing these challenges and, to help support the well-being and effectiveness of, of these educational professionals. So especially now, we're in this world post-pandemic where the lingering impacts of school closures are just being really deeply felt. There's this study that was just released by the State of American Students. And this is a study done by the Teachers College in Arizona. And it was just released this fall. And I do want to note that this was a study done on public schools, but I just really wanted to share these statistics with you. 8 in 10 public schools in May 2022 reported stunted behavior and social and emotional development in students due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And 60% of public schools in May 2022 reported increases in classroom disruptions. So, these statistics are quite alarming. And so I want to talk about maybe one of the solutions that can address these challenges. So one solution lies in implementing social and emotional learning programming. The positive impact of SEL ripples across teachers, parents, and administrators. And it really results in higher satisfaction, job satisfaction for teachers, increased contentment among parents, and reduced stress levels for school administrators. And of course, there's so many positive outcomes for students socially, emotionally, and academically. So ultimately, social emotional learning fosters this really harmonious and thriving educational community. And it's a holistic approach that empowers educators and learners. So what is social and emotional learning? I'll provide a concise definition of SEL because I'm just assuming you already have a great understanding of what it is, but I just want to be on the same page. So social and emotional learning is an educational approach that cultivates self-awareness, interpersonal skills, emotional intelligence, and enhances students' well-being and overall academic success. And CASEL, which is the Collaborative for Academic, Social and Emotional Learning, have developed these 5 core competencies, which is self-awareness, self-regulation, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. And it's these 5 competencies which are at the foundation of the humankind curriculum, which we will get into a little later. So, yeah, what does the research say? So I've done a lot of research on social and emotional learning, and here are some of the research findings and data points of interest, and there are many. So in the Psychological Bulletin in 2022, hundreds of studies involving more than 1 million students worldwide across pre-K offer consistent evidence that SEL has a positive impact on students' academic achievement. And then Yale just released this excellent study, published this outstanding research paper that I really highly recommend. It's called The State of the Evidence for Social and Emotional Learning. And it's a contemporary meta-analysis of universal school-based SEL interventions. And I'm really happy to provide a link for those who are interested in exploring the positive outcomes of SEL more deeply. And they have also said in this article that students participating in SEL report an increased sense of safety and support, better relationships with teachers, and stronger feelings of belonging and inclusiveness in schools. And then the SAGE Journal have focusing on SEL can help educators build and maintain stronger relationships with students and manage classrooms. So in summary, the research consistently supports the effectiveness of SEL programs in improving academic outcomes, reducing behavior problems, enhancing social skills, promoting emotional well-being, and fostering positive long-term effects. So social and emotional learning isn't only an educational enhancement, but also really creating that valuable tool, you know, for a more inclusive and emotionally healthy learning environment. So I think now more than ever, social and emotional learning is imperative to integrate into classrooms. So the alignment with, I want to talk about a little bit about the alignment of Montessori with SEL. So both Montessori and social and emotional learning prioritize the holistic development of the child, academically, socially, emotionally. So Montessori education recognizes that a child's emotional and social growth is inseparable from their intellectual development. So likewise, SEL focuses on nurturing emotional intelligence alongside the cognitive skills. So Montessori philosophy, SEL focuses on the holistic development of the child, aligning with Montessori's child-centered philosophy, which recognizes the individuality of each learner. And both Montessori and SEL emphasize respecting the child's autonomy, emotions, and intrinsic motivation. Planes of development. In the first plane of development, children are highly sensitive to their social and emotional environment. So SEL helps children in this plane and in this phase of development to develop emotional regulation, empathy, and communication skills. And sensitive periods. So SEL activities capitalize on children's natural inclination to develop social skills during their sensitive period for social development. They learn to relate to others, cooperate, and express themselves emotionally. One part of Montessori, I love Montessori education so much. I'm such an advocate, and I love being in the Montessori classroom, but the peace education, which is at the core of Montessori philosophy, really teaches children the importance of conflict resolution, empathy and understanding, and social and emotional learning. Emphasis on emotional regulation and empathy really aligns seamlessly with that guiding Montessori principle. Another thing I love about Montessori is grace and courtesy. And so that these lessons in Montessori instill respect, kindness, and being socially responsible. And SEL also reinforces these values by teaching students to handle conflicts gracefully, communicate effectively, and develop a sense of responsibility towards themselves and also to others. So in essence, Montessori and SEL are like kindred spirits in the pursuit of a holistic education for children. And Montessori's commitment to nurturing not just knowledgeable, but also compassionate, well-rounded individuals align beautifully with SEL's mission to develop emotionally intelligent, empathetic, and socially responsible citizens. So, and I also think that Montessori teachers excel at teaching SEL due to their grounding in the Montessori philosophy. So implementing SEL, this is the how. So the successful implementation of an SEL program really requires planning, commitment, and collaboration amongst administrators, to teachers, and to families. So begin by assessing the specific needs and challenges within your school. So really ask yourself, what social and emotional skills are most relevant to your students and teachers? Because every school is different. And so I also identify where your strengths are and what resources that you have that can support a program's implementation. Setting a goal, so defining clear and measurable goals for your SEL program. So what do you hope to achieve and how do you measure that success? So establish specific learning objectives that align with your goals, and that will set kind of like setting your intention for whatever program that you choose to implement. And another really important step is providing that professional development and those opportunities for the educators and facilitators involved in your program. So you want to equip them with the knowledge, with the skills that they need to effectively teach SEL, the concepts, and also create that nurturing and supportive environment for the program to be successful. Sort of the integration into the curriculum. So, integrating SEL into your schedule. So it's like identifying opportunities to teach SEL skills throughout the school day and encouraging teachers to weave SEL into the daily routines. And this is another really important part, is like the assessment. So reflection and assessment, so important. Like, how are we doing? And is this working? So developing a system for assessment to track students' progress and the effectiveness of the program. So using assessments or observations to measure changes in emotional competencies. Another really important part is involving the families. I think this connection between home and school, which I'll get into a little later, is such an important, key thing to create that sense of community and also translate that information that they're learning at home and helping parents giving parents the tools that they can then use to implement the same lessons that you're doing in school. So involving families in the community in SEL initiatives by offering workshops or maybe resources, or even opportunities for collaboration. Like, how can you as a community do something together to reinforce SEL? And they'll also have a moment to recognize and celebrate their achievements and growth of your students in this space. So showcasing the impact of SEL, sort of to maintain that momentum. So now I've kind of laid that groundwork of and shared a little bit of the origins and SEL and how it aligns so well with Montessori philosophy and principles. I want to sort of chat about a little bit about the humankind curriculum. So this program is developed by a teacher for teachers. I've been in your teacher's shoes. I really understand the pain points of feeling overwhelmed in the classroom. So I really created this curriculum so that anybody can integrate SEL really easily and also meaningfully into their day. It's a very comprehensive program. It includes professional development, like how to use the curriculum, and that important piece of connecting home. So there is information to give to parents. There's newsletters to give out each week, so that parents have the language and can do some activities at home. There's 9 books. It's a literacy-based curriculum, so each theme has a corresponding book. There's lesson plans correlating with each book. There's also a community building project, again, making those connections between home and school and with your broader community. There's reflect on learning cards and classroom management strategies for teachers. There's KWL charts. There's coloring books, guided meditations, posters. There's a weekly planner with quick sort of SEL activities to do on the fly. There's an assessment tool which links back to those CASEL 5 core competencies. And there's a teacher reflection audit because, an important part of teaching is that reflection piece. And then there's also kind of like this bonus activity pack, which goes across all curriculum subject areas. So each theme is accompanied by its own corresponding book, and these books serve as a valuable resource that can be utilized throughout the year. And they're a really excellent tool for fostering a strong connection between home and school because parents can read the books at home as well. And the themes are kindness, feelings, manners, respect, growth mindset, empathy, friendship, meditation, and courage. And some of these books are set to music, so you can read or sing the books. This is a sample of one of the lessons. Each activity has really been purposefully designed, like as a mini lesson ranging from 5 to 30 minutes, and they can be implemented throughout the day, really flexibly fitting into the classroom schedule. So each theme could be spread over a week, or you could do it over a month. And really the curriculum becomes a guide to inspire the teacher to infuse SEL into their classroom. And then the rationale for timing each lesson is to really provide teachers with a valuable resource for planning their daily schedule. So, and also some schools require a record of their SEL implementation to demonstrate their commitment and also potentially securing funding. So if schools can say we're doing X amount of hours every week for SEL, that can be a way to get funding. And each lesson's set out very simply. There's an objective, there's outcomes that are linked to the Common Core, to CASEL, and to the NHES. There's a materials list, and there's also vocabulary that teachers can put up at the beginning of each theme, so children can be learning new vocabulary. Each theme enables developmentally appropriate scaffolding for student learning. So this format of the program moves the child through each skill incrementally, And the format of the program, you begin by inspiring. So you may use a video or role play or storytelling to engage the student with the theme to begin with. Then there's the book that you read that's related to the theme. And then there's a set of activities that are all play-based and student-centered. And then at the end of the theme, there's a moment to share. That could be a song or a poster or something visually and auditorily connecting students to the messages. And then again, that reflection piece, which is so important, which can also be used, as an assessment tool, the discussions and questions that you can have at a circle time at the end of the day. Here is a lesson plan sample. So you can see it's really simple, designed to be easy to follow. And there's those approximate times on each activity. And the activities are really for all different styles of learners. So visual, auditory, kinesthetic, reading, and writing. And I've also included differentiation and extension to cater for different styles of learners, as well as an informal assessment to track student learning. See, I told you it was really turnkey. So now we can have a little bit of fun. So chances are you're going to remember two things from today. That would be little dude and some hands-on activities, because that's really how we learn, is through doing. So I thought I would go through some of the activities. Oh, that seems to, the images haven't worked, but sorry about that. So there's some breathing techniques. This is from the meditation theme. And breathing techniques offer a really quick and enjoyable method to unite the mind and body while creating a really peaceful moment. So I would like to take a moment to share the box breathing technique with you. So I thought that this is something that we could do together. So if you want to, prior to beginning, sit with your back in a comfortable chair with your feet planted firmly on the floor. And if you would like to close your eyes and begin by slowly exhaling all of your air out, and then gently inhaling for 4 counts through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then hold for 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhaling for 4 counts through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we just wait for 4 counts. And then we do that again. So gently inhale through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we'll do that again without the count. So inhale. Hold. And exhale. So you can open your eyes. I hope this gave you a mindful moment. The images that haven't sort of popped up right here, these were images from the Brain Vacation, A Guide to Meditation book, which gives this visual and auditory cue of inhaling a flower and exhaling, saying aham. So that's like the premise of the sort of the book. So the children in your classroom, you can say, think of your favorite flower. Where did you pick it from? What's its color? What does it smell like? What does it look like? And then all the kids have that sort of visual cue of smelling the flower. And then they have the aham, which they all say together, which is on the exhale. Another effective approach to cultivating a growth mindset is by incorporating positive affirmations. So this is a great thing for morning circle time, as it really helps set a successful tone for the day. Some examples of positive affirmations are things like, I've got this, I'm doing the best I can, I believe in myself, I can do hard things, and students can come up with their own, or you can help them with some prompts. And these can also be used in staff meetings to build connections and community. I also have this. Smile. Be kind. So that is the kindness high five. This serves as a rapid reset, promoting the concept of kindness and connecting the classroom community in a fun and engaging manner. So you clap at the same time, you say share, help, smile, and then you high five the person next to you saying be kind. And then, teachers could also encourage kids to use their own and personalize the high fives with their peers, again, fostering that sense of community and connection, and also being creative. So after this little activity reset, I just want to backtrack for one moment. So those are the kind of little activities that are part of the curriculum that can be really easily implemented into circle time. You could do this as like transitional activities. You could do that high five and, that's the cue to get into the line. So they're really just ways you can implement SEL into your already very busy curriculum in a meaningful, engaging, hands-on and fun way. So I really would like to talk about reflection and assessment, because I think that's a really important and crucial part of any program that you implement. And then this quote from John Dewey really resonates, that we do not learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience. So reflecting on teaching practice is really an essential part of being a successful leader and teacher. So it leads to improved student learning outcomes, better classroom management, and making changes to improving teaching practice. And the Humankind curriculum includes these reflection and assessment frameworks. So for students, there's a KWL chart. So the teachers scaffold filling in the KWL all together. That's what I know, what I wonder, what I learned. You could do this as a class. You could use words, you could also use illustrations, and the goal is for students to be able to do this in small groups or, eventually individually, because this is a really great way to track student learning, to see where there are gaps and see where you may have to review information. So what does that student know? What are they still wondering about? And that can really help direct, where you take your lesson next. Like, oh, they didn't quite get this concept, I'm going to go back. Or they're wondering more about this. And so that could lead your teaching lessons, in a direction where, really engages the child with what they're wondering. And this is another reflection tool for children. These are based on, again, those CASEL 5 core competencies. And these can be used as prompts for class discussions or small group work. This is a great activity for circle time in the beginning of the day or at the end of the day, or something that they can think over lunch while they're eating. And it's really another way to build community, because that's a big part of SEL, is like understanding who's in your classroom community and developing that kindness and empathy and that deep understanding of, your friends in your environment. So for many teachers, the informal form of reflection is called the drive home from school, when you're sitting in the car and thinking about your day. But to make it more of a formal process, we developed the teacher reflection audit. So really to document reflecting on teaching practice. And I really think, again, reiterating that reflecting on teaching practice is really vital for educators, because it allows them to improve, continuously improve, adapt to their students' needs, and enhance their effectiveness in the classroom. It also fosters like self-awareness and encourage professional growth, and ensures that teaching remains dynamic and student-centered. And moving from reflection to assessment, is really important to demonstrate the impact of social and emotional learning. And first and foremost, it helps establish the effectiveness of the lessons. And by, once you can track student learning, it can showcase the positive changes and that you observe in your students, and it can provide you with concrete evidence that the SEL is making a meaningful difference. And I know that in Montessori, they do a lot of observation, which is excellent. And I think furthermore, tracking the progress of each child over time allows you to tailor SEL interventions to their specific needs. So by identifying areas where the child may need additional support or where they have excelled, educators can really customize their approach to ensure that SEL, whatever their program that they're doing, is, maximally beneficial for every student. Also, I think demonstrating the effectiveness of SEL lessons can be instrumental in garnering support and resources for, SEL program for all stakeholders involved, including parents, administrators, policymakers. So I think in summary, showcasing the impact of SEL lessons is essential, not only for assessing their effectiveness, but for also providing students with that individualized support and fostering a commitment to nurturing the social and emotional development of the children in your school. So kind of to summarize the benefits of social and emotional learning, where there's a wide range. There's improved academic performance. So SEL equips students with essential skills such as self-regulation and problem solving, which enhances their ability to focus, learn, and perform better academically. And again, there's a lot of research that links SEL to academic success. Enhanced social skills. So students really develop stronger interpersonal skills, including effective communication, conflict resolution, empathy, collaboration, and leading to improved relationships with their peers and their teachers. Emotional well-being. So SEL helps students manage their emotions. It helps reduce stress and anxiety and helps build that resilience, contributing to sort of overall better well-being. Reduce behavioral issues, which again, kind of bringing it back to that statistic that I was saying that they just did, where there's like this 60% increase in student disruptions in schools. So, schools with SEL programs often see a decrease in things like disciplinarian issues, bullying, disruptive behavior, and it really does help create this more positive and peaceful learning environment. And really, SEL prepares you for life. It equips students with essential skills such as decision-making, goal setting, responsible behavior, and like really ensuring that they have better, being better prepared for the challenges of being an adult. And also teacher satisfaction. So educators benefit from SEL as well. Like they experience reduced level of stress. They see improved job satisfaction due to the classrooms being a more positive environment. It also helps create this stronger school community. It fosters this sense of belonging within the community. It brings students, teachers, and parents and administrators collaboratively together. And again, there's those long-term benefits that SEL provide, really helping kids to navigate all life's challenges that they're going to face as they grow. So these benefits really highlight the transformative impact of SEL programs on students and the overall school climate and classroom environment. I really do, before I move on to talking about dog therapy in the classroom, I just want to talk about this really important piece of connecting home and school. So I think that's crucial to any program success, and your school success is really making that connection between home and school. So you can do things like parent workshops, You can organize workshops, information sessions where parents can learn about SEL programming, and also providing that space for giving parents practical tips to do SEL at home. You could give them take-home materials, such as a newsletter that really explains SEL and how parents can reinforce these lessons at home, because really SEL does or should begin at home. So giving parents the tools and the language could be a great step. You could offer online resources through your website. You could launch SEL challenges that involve families. So things like you could do a monthly kindness challenge where students have to, do kind acts at home and list them out. And that kind of involves the schools, the family as well. Or you could do something like a gratitude journal, and you could ask parents to, as a morning ritual or over dinner, to write one thing that you're grateful for the day. Social media is another way you can talk to parents through whether you have Facebook or Instagram or your website. So by implementing these ideas, you can really foster that strong connection between home and school. And so I'm going to sort of chat. Oh, I missed a slide. Here we go. So dog therapy in the learning environment. This is something that I'm truly passionate about. I've really seen the positive outcomes and benefits of bringing my dog into many, many classrooms and many different kinds of facilities. So let's chat a little bit about dog therapy in the learning environment. So dog therapy is referred to as animal-assisted therapy, or AAT. It's a heartwarming and effective approach to support emotional well-being, particularly in educational settings. So in the presence of therapy dogs like Little Dude, students experience a unique blend of comfort, companionship, and emotional support. These four-legged friends create a welcoming and non-judgmental atmosphere that really encourages that open communication. It reduces stress and it fosters a sense of security. And this in turn promotes a positive and productive learning environment. And the magic of dog therapy lies in its ability to connect with students on an emotional level. So dogs have this innate gift for sensing and responding to human emotions, which makes an excellent companion in times of, anxiety or loneliness, which many people are suffering from right now. They provide this soothing presence and can really help children and adults cope with a range of, emotional challenges. I noticed that when I bring the dog into every classroom, you feel the mood shift instantly when you walk in with the dog. And also, moreover, dog therapy really aligns beautifully with social and emotional learning. It helps students develop empathy, compassion, and an understanding of emotional needs of others, skills that are really fundamental to their own personal growth. So in essence, dog therapy in the learning environment isn't just about cute wagging tails and joyful interactions. It's a powerful tool for nurturing emotional well-being. So, Little Dude reminds me that the presence of these furry educators can make a significant impact and make it a rich learning experience. So for a decade now, I've been bringing Little Dude into classrooms, and I can passionately attest to the positive effects it has on both the teachers and the students. And I'll always be so thankful to the head of Westside Montessori School in New York, who allowed me to bring Little Dude into the classroom for the very first time. This is just a little bit of a snapshot of the research. Again, there's quite a bit of research on the positive benefits of bringing dogs into the classroom. So there's a study conducted by the University of California on canine reading programs that it increases reading fluency by a lot, by 30%. And And 2019 study published by the National Institute of Health found that a dog present in the classroom promotes a positive mood and also reduces stress and anxiety. I can go a lot more into the research, but I can see that we're coming to the end of our time, but I might just touch on one or two more research findings. So there's this article done where the authors reviewed 30 articles about the presence of therapy dogs in classrooms, and this was published. So there was a group of articles published between 2001 and 2017, and they kind of did a collective study of all these articles, and the age range of the students in these research papers were between ages 3 and to high school. And in the analysis, 3 categories of therapeutic benefits emerged. The first is increased reading and language skills. The second is social and emotional and humane gains. And the third is improved gross motor skills. So there's numerous studies that have also found that literacy skills can be improved from reading to dogs, and that children have an increased confidence and increased love of reading. So a lot of research shows the positive effects of dogs in the classroom. So these are some of the benefits of bringing the dogs in the classroom: stress reduction, improved social skills, enhanced emotional well-being, increased focus and attention, and a positive learning experience. And so a lot of people ask me, how do I get started and how would I bring a dog into the classroom? You start by finding a reputable organization. So do a search of dog therapy programs in your local area. There's a nonprofit called Pet Partners, and they're one of the most widely used organizations for providing therapy dogs. If you're on the East Coast in Connecticut, New Jersey, or New York, you can look at the Good Dog Foundation, where we volunteer. Pet Partners is petpartners.org, and they offer also a walk with me and read with me program. And then you kind of request a site visit from them. And so most organizations will want to come out and do a survey to make sure that your school is a good fit. And all the staff involved have to be aware of safety precaution and procedures, like whatever staff that are involved in the dog therapy program. And then you would have to explain the process to the students as well. So you have to lay some groundwork of how children should act and behave around a dog. And then if having a dog is just not possible, Pet Partners also offer virtual visits, which I think could be a nice option. So I think as educators, we really need to do all that we can to help our students navigate school and be successful and develop kindness, and therapy dogs are a really fun way to do all of those things. And I prepared a supplementary handout that delves deeper into the specifics of dog therapy, bringing a dog into the classroom, and also social and emotional learning activities you can do if you are lucky enough to get a dog into your classroom. And then I think Camille is going to email that out after this. So today's key takeaways: social and emotional learning really holds a significant importance within education and within our schools and classrooms. And that as Montessori administrators, you play this pivotal role in advocating for the integration of SEL, and that if you implement SEL through hands-on activity-based approaches, this proves highly effective for early childhood learners. So really implementing a curriculum will equip, the young children with the tools they need to lead successful lives academically, socially, and emotionally. And here is a special offer for today. I'm going to give that complimentary digital resource, Unleashing the Potential Therapy Dogs in the Classroom. That's a handout. And then also I have a professional development session really tailored for educators. It's called Connecting Hearts and Minds, hands-on SEL workshop. So if you'll receive an email containing this handout and the comprehensive details about the professional development workshop. If you're interested in that, especially if you're on the East Coast, anywhere in Connecticut or tri-state area, I can come and deliver that in person in your school. It's like an hour. Very hands-on. It's not just me talking, it's having all those teachers involved in doing the activities. And if you'd like to learn more about us, you can check out World of Little Dude or our websites or Instagram or on Facebook and LinkedIn. And I really hope that this time has inspired you. And if you would like to reach out with ideas of ways you can bring human kindness to your classrooms and your community, I'd love to sort of hear from you. And I thought I would leave you with one final moment of the Little Dude song.
Kindness and love, and I want to tell you something. Happy people make the world go round. Please use and thank yous. Tell your family I love you. It's love the ones you love. Wave hi to your friends. He's a dude, he's a dude.
That's like, as I said, the curriculum has singing, it has auditory, kinesthetic, it's for all learners. So thank you so much for your participation. And just remember that you have the power to shape the future by instilling knowledge and values in the hearts and minds of your students. And I believe in your ability to make a difference, and your impact as a school administrator can really last a lifetime for these students. So yeah, if there's any questions, please feel free to jump in the chat or send me an email and get in touch. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Cara. I'm just sharing here in the chat the link to your website. If you're watching on YouTube, you can also click. I'll put that in the description. Does anyone here have any questions?
I have a question, Camila. Cara, this was a wonderful presentation. Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Few questions I have is that this program, the SEL curriculum, is that appropriate for children from 3 and above all the way to high school? Did I hear you correctly?
No, it doesn't go to high school. It's for early childhood. So the ideal range is, preschool, that 3 to 7 age. So up until grade 1. That's kind of the ideal range. In the future, I would like to grow it, but right now it's just for early childhood.
The second question I had is that is there something we can provide to our teachers about this program to motivate them to maybe get some training and start implementing this program? What would you recommend?
Yes, if you'd like to head to the website, or if you want to send me an email and I can send you some information. After this session, you'll get a handout about dog therapy in the classroom and social and emotional learning activities, and also information about the workshop. So it'd be that's a great place to get some information for your teachers. And
finally, if I know that dog therapy is an essential is an important program within your SEL curriculum. If you're not able to really take advantage of dog therapy, you can still use the other elements of the curriculum.
Oh yeah, no, the whole that's kind of separate from what I'm doing. Like there's this curriculum that I created that's for teachers to use in their classroom, and you do not need a dog for that. The dog therapy is just something that I'm really passionate about. And so that would be something that you kind of would want to add on if you were curious about how you get that into your school. But otherwise, the curriculum is designed for teachers to use in their classroom.
And that for them to get trained, I guess there's more detailed information that we can get from the website.
Yes, I can send you a sample pack, and it includes a professional development, and that shows the teachers how to use the program. And I'd also offer this workshop too.
Yeah, our main motivation, especially in the Montessori environment, is that teachers are so busy.
Yes,
They're doing their own things to introduce something new. You really
right.
have to motivate them. So what I'm looking for is maybe kind of an elevator pitch
Yes.
that we can provide to them that can excite them. And because we can't really force them to do it, we can encourage them to do it.
Right. And that's why I've created it really simple. So it's not reams of things that they have to read. It's a quick glance. Okay. And it's kind of why I've timed each activity. It's like, okay, I have 5 minutes to do this quick thing in class discussion, or I have 15 minutes to do this really great hands-on activity that's going to teach the kids about kindness. Or I have this fun movement idea that's going to teach the kids kind and unkind words. So it's really, I've written it from the perspective of my experience of being in the classroom and feeling overwhelmed, but these are just really easy to implement ideas for teachers to put in their classroom. And also they all relate to a book. So each theme has a corresponding book. So that's something that you can keep referring back to. The books are something that, you know, parents can also have. So it's really making that home and school connection as well.
Thank you.
Thanks for your questions. And if you want, you can just reach out to my email and I can share more information with you.
Okay.
And I'm actually looking for sort of early adopters of the program, because so if you want to be a school ambassador for the Humankind curriculum, please reach out, because I have a special offer on at the moment.
I have a question because I was particularly curious about how you were saying about bridging the gap between home and school. This is an area that, at least when I worked at a Montessori school, we struggled greatly with. Usually the teachers were the easy ones to get on board. It was the parents that were a little bit trickier. So I was curious, you said you provide things like newsletters and things like that that can communicate this type of learning back home, where a lot of that work really has to happen. So what are the resources that you offer again for home?
Sure. It's so when you before you implementing the program, you send out one newsletter, and it's like saying, this is what SEL is, this is what the program's about, you know, these are the benefits. And then each week you send, you know, if you're going to do the theme on kindness at the beginning of the week, you send out that newsletter on kindness. And I've developed them in Canva. So all the information's there, but you can personalize it with your school. You can put your school name, you can put the date, you can add your personalized message if you want, but all the content is there. And if you want, you can change out, you know, Canva's so easy to use. If you want to put in your own images, you can, or use the ones that I've put in there. And then you just and I've got all the steps of, you know, you don't have to know how to use Canva. It's like I've put step by step how you download it and then attach it as an email, as a PDF, and then you send that to parents. And that includes, you know, what is kindness? If it's the theme on kindness, what is kindness? Here are some kind activities that you can do at home. And then also the books, you know, parents can also use the books at home if they want to purchase the books, or there's ebooks available. And so again, they can read those books at home, and you can be reading those books in school. And then there's a community building project, which is centered around hunger. So you look in your local community, it gives age appropriate lessons about hunger. And it goes over 4 weeks. And you get yourself ready to do a bake sale to raise money for a local, wherever you are locally, you do a little bit of research. Okay, what's something in our community where they could use money, and whether it's a homeless shelter or a dog, somewhere where there could be, you know, a dog shelter, somewhere where there's people that are in need. And then as a community, you know, you create posters for the school. So you're making people aware, you're getting the parents involved. They're going to have to help their kids make the food. And then you have a bake sale, you know, before school, and then that money raised. So the kids, you know, it's again, making those connections between home and school and getting those parents involved.
Fantastic. Any other questions? If you think of anything, I dropped Cara's email as well in the chat. And it's on screen right now as well. So if you're watching the recording, it's available to you. I just wanted to give one shout out here to our parenting series that's coming up this October. So if you're a Montessori Thrive member school, you'll have access to our Montessori Thrive parenting series. It's going to take place every Wednesday throughout the month of October. So make sure your parents are signed up for that. If you have any questions about our Montessori parenting series, I'm just going to drop my email here. You can ask me. Also next week, we're going to be joined by Lorena Seidel. She's going to be talking about building a stronger school community and how you as a leader can do that. She's a fantastic speaker. She's spoken at our town halls and in our parenting series before. So we're looking forward to having her back. And thank you so much to Cara for such a wonderful presentation. I think this curriculum is amazing and much needed in many communities. I'm sure will be helpful. And thank you so much for answering our questions.
Not a problem. Thanks so much for having me today. I really appreciate it.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Bye.